Hello and welcome back to Limbus Company. I am Gary and Reaver and this is the Limbus Company Arknights collaboration and the main reason I started playing Limbus Company when I did. In case you haven't seen my first impressions video, you should go check that out. I also do numerous Arknights videos, but this collaboration is one that I have been very much looking forward to, and since I started Limbus like less than a week ago, or just about a week ago, I think it was like 8 days ago I started. I've been saving as much lunacy as I can and getting as far through the story as I can to build up lunacy. So I have just over 9,000 lunacy. I also have 25, assuming I can... Oh, cool. Assuming I can use this, I don't know. I haven't used any of the extraction tickets I've been given, so I may have another 25 there, and maybe a 1 here. So, yeah, that's a decent number to roll on the Arknights thing. So, oh, cool. Ego extraction. So this is the collaboration, and it has Milnar, Gregor, it has Calcit Faust, which definitely fits, but I don't really know anything about Honglu. I'm only in the 3rd canto, so absolutely no spoilers in the comments. Regular maintenance, compensation, thank you. So, I guess, first things first is to go and extract this. Oh good, I can use the... Oh no, that doesn't look like the 10. Maybe the 10's only for use in specific things, or... No, see... Yeah, maybe the 10 is only for use in this. That's a shame. Oh wow, it like summons a ghost of Cal, who's then summons monster. Okay. I don't actually know if I'm going to be able to play the events stages. After cultivation. Yes. I don't know what that is, but yes. I like how this is laid out, because this is very much how like Arknights ones are laid out. I don't know if that's intentional or if that's how these are normally laid out. I don't think it is. Okay, so I can actually play the levels. Good. How hard are they? Oh, yeah, that's pretty hard. 55. By comparison, mine are 20 to 30. So instead, let's start with an extraction. Yes, I'll use 10 tickets to get... This is literally the first time I've ever extracted, apart from the one you have to do for the tutorial. So let's, I guess, do the mundane ones. Okay, I just got... Is it? I mean, I see this is normal. You just get basic. I guess these are like shards, ego shards. But I don't know what the red ones are going to be. So let's have a look. Oh, that was done. Oh. Okay. Apparently that was not done. You've done it, you found me. I mean, that's awkward because I have a level 3 rank, 3 star. What's the, like, 3-0, 3-0? I don't know the term. Yisang. Okay. Dichi Association, South Section 4. I'm Yisang, please remain silent as you find yourself at the Temple of Knowledge. Okay, so I got 2 new things, cool. Unbrilliant Glory Gregor, Command Meltdown Faust, and to remain oneself Hong Lu. I don't know how I get the Ishmael one, which I believe is a free one. But let's keep extracting, I've got plenty of these. So I'll do the red ones and then just skip the rest. As I'm guessing they are just shards. Oh, Hammer and Nail Heathcliff. Cool. Wait, you're not the superior. What? Okay. Lu Association, South Section 4, Ryoshu. Did you want to witness the art performed in training room? Not psychotic at all. And that one again. Okay. Yeah, grab the rest. Yeah, shards. Cool. Ah, I see. You get a whole load of shards for the rare ones. That makes sense. Extract again. Like, to be perfectly honest, I'd be okay with just the Faust one. Yeah, come on, open it. Ooh. Yeah, I think that's a good sign. I'd be happy with just the Faust one. Ooh. Heathcliff. Equal death or something, or whatever. I'm here to wreck stuff. She Association. And this one. That one again. And this one. That one again. And the golden one. Heathcliff. I'm getting a lot of Heathcliff stuff. Wild Hunt Season 4. I've returned once again to face Catherine and the accursed wretches of the manor. Okay. Right. Extract again. Yes. I really had no idea what to expect with like how this would... Okay, no golden ones. I like how it does denote, like, I mean, it's essentially denoting the... Ooh! The rarity. LCCB Assistant Manager Ishmael. Cool. But it means you don't need to, like, manually do them. That's a pretty cool feature. Yep, and again. Do I actually have to click? It's... I assume I do. Yes. Nope, still no gold. Maid Ishmael! Ishmael! Oh, adorable. Remember, our master has respiratory issues. No, I'll do it myself. Rodian. LCCB Assistant Manager Rodian, Season 1. You're the one who'll be bossing me around. And that one's definitely done. N-Corp. Hammer of Justice, purcheth evil! Dost thou require mine aid? Yeah, she's gone nutso. I mean, it's hard to tell sometimes with Dawn whether she's gone nutso or whether she's just... Oh, a gold one, good. Or whether she's just enthusiastic. Oh. Hurrah! Justice hath arrived! I shall drive all villains into equal demise. She Association. Wow, she does not look pleased. And Sinclair. I'll protect you with all I can, manager, but don't go too far ahead. Spy Association. Interesting. Come on, show me a Faust. No. It's a special Don. Okay. What's that? Sing Association? Interesting. Thou art my partner in duel? Okay. I am quickly running out of extractions. I'm very, very quickly running out of extractions, and I have had... Oh, that's a different colour again. That's a good sign. Yeah, I think that's going to be one of them. One of the good ones then. Yisang. First mate to the Pequod. Season 3 Pequod first mate. Cool. Yep, and show me a Faust. Yes! Ha! That is very pretty. That is very pretty indeed. Collaboration limited. Oh. In this long journey in times of restlessness, search for hope and a future. Find your own answer. Oh, I'm happy with that. Like, I like Gregor. He is one of my favourites. Oh, I said if it's like round, that's really cool. Yeah, Gregor's one of my favourites. But Honglu is literally my least favourite of the sinners. I find him so unbearably boring. And maybe that'll change, like, as I progress through the story. He actually says and does more, but at the moment, I just can't stand him. Yeah, I'll use my last one. Okay, gold, but not blue. But yeah, Faust I think is really cool, and Gregor is cool, so I would have liked to get Gregor's one, but I'm not that fussed about Milnar either, so, you know. T-Corp Class 2 Collection Staff. Can't believe I'm wasting my time with this gross coloured meat. Makes me wish I'd never seen colour growing up. Oh, no, I'm thinking of a different corporation. One of them has something to do with colour. Oh! 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 Sorry, I completely... It was round. It's a war. Indicant's Trial. Hang them, burn them, reduce their bones to cinders. I assumed it was circular because it was the collaboration one. It seems some of them are just circular. Well, what a roller coaster of emotion, but I think that is all my lunacy. Ha! Very, very cool. So I assume Skadishmael is in here. Yeah, there she is. Okay, let's have a look-see at you. Yeah, look at that. Because Skadi is one of my favourite Arknights characters, and Ishmael is my favourite Limbus Company character. In case anyone is wondering, it goes Limbus, Autus, Faust and Don are sort of vying for third and fourth, and then Gregor are my top 5 sinners. Oh. Like, I'm not sure how I feel about the big bow, but the rest is very pretty. Okay. Well, I have virtually no chance of succeeding anywhere in this. Wow, it's a month-long event. Okay. Well, I have virtually no chance of succeeding here, but shall we try? I mean, no, it would be suicide to switch them over to one of the new things that I've just unlocked, because I have no way to level them up. Okay. Let's give it a go. Oh, wow, they can't deploy? Okay. Why? Why can they not deploy? And why have mine been leveled up to 55? Is this like a tutorial level? I was exploring a Lobotomy Corporation branch when my consciousness sinks into the depths. The sense of cognition itself, a concept without form, floats into the shadow of an ever-widening river, swept up in its currents to nowhere. When we ran into an abnormality, but Sword told us that Hongyuan's Lobotomy Corp branch should be free of any abnormalities. The abnormality which had appeared out of nowhere was more otherworldly than any we'd encountered so far in our journey, and deep blue. It was fathomlessly blue and seemed to have a pull that endlessly drew us into itself. Just as I was about to recall this abnormality... Huh? A myriad of sceneries and a flood of incalculable thoughts crash into my mind like wild waves before ebbing away from its shores. I was already lost and adrift somewhere within my own consciousness when I realized this. Just how long am I going to be adrift? I mean, this feels like Arknights writing. Again, I don't know if that's me projecting or if this was like co-written or even just written by the Arknights people, but it's got that... I'm going to be honest, I prefer the Limbus writing to Arknights writing. The sensation of my unconsciousness floating away is quite the unfamiliar one. I floated about in that strange state for a while. Ter? Oh, hello! An unfamiliar voice seizes my aimlessly drifting consciousness. Are you... Dante? Huh? The fog of my vision clears as the voice breaks through the waves, and a concerned expression comes into view. Yes, I am. What a relief. Gregor, I think Dante has come too. So, who are... I was about to ask further questions to this stranger with a particularly long animal-like ears, but... I wonder if they're going to make a donkey reference. I felt the drowsiness coursing back with the terrifying memories of the dream, rendering me unable to speak. I have to get a hold of myself. After an indeterminate amount of time had passed, I barely managed to wake myself from slumber to get a grasp of my surroundings, only to find myself surrounded by more unfamiliar surroundings that I am now surrounded by. There was that stranger from earlier, sitting atop a rock and silently taking in the sights, a young girl who probably saved my life. Wait, so were those animal ears after all? Okay, that's not important right now. I have a clock for a head. I have to prioritize figuring out where in the world I ended up. So where... We're standing by the Iberian coastline. How are you feeling? A little out of it, but I'm okay. Iberia, huh? Yes, we're in Iberia. Well, given that we're next to an ocean, maybe I drifted all the way to Eucorp's Great Lake. Iberia was an unfamiliar name, but that was all I had to go on, given that the city was still full of more unknowns than knowns to me. I radioed your colleagues when you briefly woke up earlier. They'll be here any minute. I see. Wait, my colleagues? You must have run into the sinners then. The fog of my mind immediately cleared as soon as I realized that the sinners were all nowhere to be seen. Sinners? God, Amir looks weird in this style. Do you ever get that when, like, a character is drawn in another art style and it's just like, ooh, not sure how I feel about that? I think so. I ran into them earlier. They were all looking over the place for someone with a clock for their head. It was a pretty unique description, so I could tell right away that you were the person with the clock for a head when I saw you, because you have a clock for a head. Arknights writing! Sorry, I'm being a bit... So this clock does come in handy. Manager bud. Dante. I'd woken up in an unfamiliar place to an unfamiliar face, and in all of this unfamiliarity, in this all-round sense of displacement, the faces that appeared before me were a sight for sore eyes. Gregor! Honglu! No, Miss Rabbit here told me she found you unconscious by the ocean, and phew, I came as fast... Hang on, she can understand Dante. I don't know if that's answered at some point between Canto 3 and here, or if it's just accepted for the convenience of the storytelling. I was worried something bad might have happened. Glad to see you're doing fine. Were you lost at sea? I don't know. Well, I do think I'm fine, though. Guess not having any way to drink water's finally come in handy. You should go get that checked out just in case. Wait, your head's waterproof, right? I mean, it's on fire. Gregor takes a moment to steady his breathing, then mutters a casual quip as he lights a cigarette. Well, he doesn't seem that concerned. Maybe we're not actually in that much danger. So, what happened? Where are we? Do you remember entering that Lobotomy Corp branch Zichun told us about? Yeah. Yeah, we ran into a new abnormality and got sucked into it before we even had the chance to do anything. Ugh, man, I really thought that was it for us. Especially with you getting sucked in there too, Manager Bud. But when we came to, despite waking up with our faces down in some ditch, we were all fine without a scratch. Though there was quite the mess when we realised that you'd gone missing. We wanted to search for you immediately, but it took a while before we got a better bearing of where we were. I'm just going to click through these because the slow text is killing me. So we're not at Eucorp's Great Lake? Some of us considered that to be a distinct possibility, but it's unlikely. Ishmael was really certain we are not in District 21. She did concede that we might be in an unknown area within the Great Lake of the outskirts, but that doesn't seem likely either, given what the rabbit-eared lady there said. The outskirts region of the Great Lake? I've met all kinds of people from all over Terra, but I've never met anyone who's referred to the Iberian Sea that way. Terra? Iberia? As I found myself puzzled by these unfamiliar terms, a very obvious question suddenly struck me. Speaking of which, who are you? Oh, really? You fellas haven't introduced yourselves to each other yet? It's just a lot to take in. Oh, it's understandable. You did just wake up from a pretty harrowing experience. She is, Actually, would you like to do the honours yourself? I'm Armia, the leader of Rhodes Island. Please, just call me Armia. Armia, the leader of Rhodes Island. You have to use the whole thing. I'm Dante, manager at Limbus Company. I know I'm late, but thanks for saving my bacon. It seems that this Rodeo Island is a pretty big corporation, but Gregor trails off ominously and scratches his head before continuing with some mild trepidation. This young lady with the rabbit ears doesn't know what the head is at all. As far as I know, there aren't any organisations in Terra with the same characteristics as the one Mr. Gregor explained. When he said the head, it's just like, hang on, isn't the head from Arknights? And it's like, no, it's heads from, heads from the other Project Moon games. I'm getting myself confused. I've been playing these games and these worlds for so long, I'm just getting them mixed up in my head now. In my head. Ha! Like that. Moving on. There aren't any organisations in Terra with the same characteristics as the one Mr. Gregor explained. At least not with a name like The Head. It's a bit on the nose, if I'm honest. Also, sorry, it's Rhodes Island, not Rodeo. Sorry, Gregor's kind of bad with names. So, what you're saying is we're not in the city anymore? It'd be weird for any higher-ups of these huge corporations to know less about the Head than we do, let alone be completely clueless about it. Well, maybe we've trumbled into a previously undiscovered zone of the outskirts or the ruins. Probably. Or maybe we've really found ourselves in a completely different world. Oh, I've just realised why these two are here. They get bloody things, so we're probably going to see Faust and Ishmael before long. If their conjecture is correct, we're in way bigger trouble than I thought. This wasn't like the time we accidentally stranded ourselves in the outskirts via a door in the corridor. I'm sure that's a spoiler for something I haven't done yet. Armia stared at me with some concern as she felt my distress. I think I can draw a connection to something else that's happening here. Really? Yes. Recently, anomalous signs and events have been occurring in Iberia ever since a mysterious dimensional door appeared at sea. And it's been said that this dimensional door is connected to something very, very distant. Something we've never observed before, so... Seems reasonable to theorise that a dimensional door is how we crossed over. Obviously. This thing that people somehow know is a dimensional door in the ocean. Don't question it, it's just the plot. I really would have appreciated Faust's input. Faust! Oh no, I really thought she was about to show up. Where'd the other sinners go anyway? A bit late on the uptake to be gawking around for the other sinners now, don't you think? They're at a settlement near here, where they're all helping with various odds and ends of the village, while taking turns searching for Dante, of course. You know, I never thought about how difficult it would be to search for someone when we're like fish out of water too. Man, barely even got a wink of sleep since yesterday. Everyone's got to be really tired then. So it's just you two out here for now? No, Ishmael and... Oh. Not Faust? You sang at the other half of the search party and we just happened to be the last group in the rotation. They must be searching elsewhere to find you, Manager Bud. Oh, we got the news early thanks to Armia's comms gear, but the other team didn't. Yeah, we got lucky. The other team, well, we didn't have any way to get in touch with them, so they'll probably continue their search until the shift is done. I wonder if anyone's going to mention Gregor's massive insect arm. Oh, are we talking about that village you mentioned earlier? Uh-huh, right. You've not been there yet. I guess it's a bit off the beaten path. Well, we're going to have to rendezvous with the other sinners, so let's head to the village. Something seemed to pique Armia's interest and she fell into a contemplative silence before carefully speaking up. I would like to accompany you there. Sure, don't see why not. She helped us find Manager Bud, and more importantly, you seem to know a lot more about this place than we do. I don't actually know Iberia that well either, but I should be able to be of some help. They've closed their borders and have practically locked out any foreign influences from affecting them, but I did get a briefing before the mission. Closed borders, huh? Then how did you get in, Miss Armia? We followed Dr. Calcit's directions and illegally crossed the border. She just happily admits to 3 strangers she just met. Illegal? Oh, does that mean you crossed the border without obtaining any permission? Yes, thank you, Honglu, for explaining what illegal means. Well, we had to cross the border somehow in order to investigate how and why the dimensional door came to be. Is it normal for pharmaceutical companies, which, by the way, she hasn't told you is what Rhodes Island is. I don't know how you got that information, to be doing that. Large pharmaceutical companies often dispatch their agents for missions. Yes, Rhodes Island is, in its essence, a pharmaceutical company researching treatments for people infected with erypathy, but we also work to prevent and assist in the management of various situations that can occur in high-risk areas. That sounds like a rehearsed line. High-risk areas, huh? Wait, what about your companions? I doubt you came all the way here on your own. That's, we were forced to split up due to certain forces that were in pursuit. Wait, stop! Armia's ears twitched as she came to a stop and began scanning the surrounding area. Then, there! As we stood about, confused, Armia, noticing something, pointed towards the seashore, hidden behind large and cragged rock formations. What's going on here? Oh, hello! There we saw someone wielding a lengthy greatsword. Oh, cool! Bickering with 2 familiar faces. Again, move. You're in the way. You needn't worry as you do. We have had ample experience battling monsters who are much like them. Listen, I'm not worried, it's... Oh, come on, better to have 3 fighters than 1, right? Besides, you're the first person we ran into out here, so we've got a lot of questions to ask. You sang, Ishmael! Dante, you're unharmed. And here I was getting ready for a 3-day-long search. What a relief. We were all really worried that we might never be able to find you. Oh, we managed to find them thanks to help from Miss Armia here. Armia? Are you 2 acquainted? Not a good time for a reunion. It can wait until after I take out the sea monsters. Skadi, are those organisms the Seaborn? Dr. Calcit mentioned that we have fought presumably quite a lot at this point. Where does this fall in the Arknights canon? They're sea terrors, to be specific. Or is this the classic thing of, hey, you know those things that we know well? Could you just explain them again for me, just to make sure I haven't forgotten? The less sophisticated ones among them. And they're probably here for me. Sea terrors? I hear the sticky noise of something viscous slithering against the rocks. When I turn to face the origin of the unsettling noise, I smell the heavy, wet scent of brine, although that could be the literal ocean next to me. At the end of my gaze awaits strange monsters, unlike distortions, unlike abnormalities. To be honest, not that much unlike abnormalities. Unlike anything I'd ever seen. This is the sea. The sea itself is encroaching on the land. I was almost certain we weren't at the Great Lake, but I'm not so sure anymore. Her experience of the thick scent of brine of the Great Lake must have put her in a wary mood, as Ishmael seemed to be a lot more apprehensive about these monsters than anyone else. That's cool. Do you think those creatures could be whales or mermaids? I don't know. The Great Lake and the outskirts are full of unexplored mysteries after all. Dante, what do your senses say? Oh god, this cutscene going on forever. It's unclear. I'd say the closest comparison I could make is with the whales, but that's not even conclusive. More enemies on the horizon. We should prepare for battle. Thank you, Armia, for moving this along. Well, it doesn't seem like we can talk things out with them, though. So let's take them out. God, just like you see, hey, there are like 6 monsters approaching and Skadi's already rearing for a fight. Should we just talk about what they are for a bit first? I'm excited to... Oh, cool, she's the announcer. Okay. Nice. Anything you can tell me about them? Oh, they're everything. Everything I can do is good against them. Cool. Yeah, alright then. I mean, I'm not going to make a comment about how I'm using lust against these things. But, you know, that's like an ongoing issue with this, that every time you use a lust-powered attack, it just sounds questionable at best. But yes, I have been playing a fair bit of Limbus, and I really, really like it. I've been warned that the difficulty is going to be spiking soon. Again, no spoilers in the chat. Oh, it's actually using the Arknights art of Armia up there. That's interesting. I suppose it's the same with the other ones, like the Lobco characters. It uses the Lobco art for them. Both blues, green, and yellow. Yeah, let's get that. Both blues. Yeah. Yeah, but I really do enjoy the gameplay of this. And, yeah, I wasn't sure how I'd feel about this game, because I knew very little going in, as I said in the first impressions. Again, if you haven't seen that, you totally should. Yeah, straight across the bottom. But, yeah, I'm pleased with this game in general. So I'll just do this one battle, because I wasn't expecting a bloody half-hour cutscene. So I'll just do this one battle, and that's probably all I do on this event. But I'm really pleased I managed to get the Faust one, because, like I said, of all of them that I was to get, that's the one I was hoping for most. Nope, that one. Boom. I love watching the combat. Like, if I had a criticism about the combat, it would be it can take a while, particularly when you're using, like, the what they called ego abilities, and like you can click and hold to speed it up, but when you're using like a whole chain of them, like in some boss fights, I've been using literally all 5, or in some, like in the dungeons, all 7, using their ego abilities one after another, and it just takes bloody ages for a turn. Oh, cool, it had them both on the mission accomplished, and I think that was the Arknights mission accomplished sound. All remaining enemies have retreated to the sea. Good work, everyone. Oh, phew, didn't think I'd have to deal with anything remotely like this outside the Great Lake. Well, you can say that again. It would have taken us the whole day if that Skadi character didn't occupy the other half. The other half! Oh. I'm glad that they are appreciating that Skadi is very powerful. Like, I feel that's the thing that is almost, like, forgotten a lot. That she is, like, the walking catastrophe. Didn't occupy the other half while Miss Rabbit helped us from a distance. As we were catching our breath after the battle, I heard a brief hum. When I turned to look at its source, I saw Skadi glaring at me with palpable alarm. Strange people who transform. And ahead of a clock? I mean, we didn't transform, but okay. I guess they're both... I suppose... Oh, no, maybe Ishmael did. Like, because she isn't wearing what... I don't know. It's one of those disconnects, you know, like, do the sprites actually represent what the characters are wearing, or is Ishmael always wearing the She Association stuff? I guess they're both technically true. While it's nothing more than a theory at this point, I think they have a lot to do with the dimensional door we're supposed to be investigating. Nice to meet you, I guess. I only hear a ticking clock. Oh, good. Okay, I really thought they were just going to completely abandon it. Also, why would the clock tick and she just volunteer that she can only hear a ticking clock? It wasn't clear that Dante was talking to her in that moment. I'm just being really pedantic now. Oh, that's because only a sinners can hear Dante's voice. Huh? What's up? Oh, I'm just wondering how Miss Armia can seemingly understand Dante. I'm glad they are referencing this and questioning it. Yeah, what's going on here? Huh? Oh, yeah, flew over my flaming head that I didn't even question how weird this is. Their voice sounds like a ticking clock to me too, but I don't know, it's almost like I can sense what they're trying to say, what kind of emotion they're trying to convey. Her explanation reminded me of the Blue Boy in Sinclair's past. Haven't encountered that yet, but I don't feel quite the uncanny sensation from Armia that I felt from them. So she can read me kinda like how Virgilius can, I guess. Well, up to what I've played, Virgilius is very bad at reading Dante's intention. I don't think it's a bad thing. That's true, it's been a bit of a hassle to always need Faust or Honglu to translate for you, Dante. I'd like to know exactly how she can understand Dante, but I don't think we've got the luxury of time to sit down and figure it out. So are we heading back? Well, it sounds like a plan. It's not like we know anywhere else to go, right? And Miss Rabbit here will be tagging along too. She said she'd help us find our way back. I'm glad to be working with you two also, Miss Ishmael, Mr. Honglu. I took the words right out of my mouth. You've already helped us plenty, and you clearly know a lot more about this place than we do. Yeah, we've already said that! Come on! Oh, God. This game has been pretty good at not having circular dialogue, but come on, we don't need to go through the whole conversation again. Well, the journey is long. Perhaps embarking at the sun's fall would be wise. How long's the journey? No idea. It's not like we have a clock with us. Ha! Ha ha ha! Wait, is he serious? It's very insensitive. Hey, look at those enemies. Let's go squash them like a bug. Just blanks Gregor. I do know it's not very far, though. We just need to walk along the coastline for a bit. Skadi quietly points in my direction. Oh, Dante can't tell us the time because they're not on time. Ha 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 ha! Then why is he a clockhead? Ouch! I didn't choose to get myself a clock-shaped head. I looked away from Skadi's inquisitive eyes, which were quite solidly fixed on my head. The coasts of Iberia are hardly good places for people to live. Those things can go anywhere in this world, but they thrive at places that meet the ocean. How did people manage to build a village at a place like this? Well, the monsters are called Seaborns or Sea Terrors, yes. While it is true that they pose certain difficulties, they were hardly the kind of monsters with the strength to bring scourge and drive out the local populace. Ugh! Don't judge them based on that brief skirmish. She's telling us to be on our guard, right? Skadi can be a bit curt, but she's not a bad person. I don't think she said anything wrong. Nothing rules out the existence of stronger variants of these creatures. I like that they are getting along, like, in concept. You know, they think in a similar way. Like, as soon as I heard that Ishmael and Skadi were getting a collaboration, they were paired up, it's like, yeah, no, that makes sense. Even when I knew very little about the game, it's like, yeah, I can tell that makes sense. Skadi's concern only served to fan my curiosity, but something about her expression communicated I shouldn't pry, so I carefully quickened my pace as we walked to the village. Okay, yeah, that took a long time to read through. Like, I think part of why I had been enjoying the story, and maybe I was actually mistaken about saying, oh yes, the writing is so much quicker in Limbus Company than it is in Arknights. It could just be that I read through it non-verbally, and reading through it verbally slows me down considerably. So that could be why it feels a lot quicker. Oh wow, look at that. Huh. Does it always do that? I've not noticed that before. But yes, it could also be that it is very wordy and slow because it's Arknights, or very wordy and slow because they feel they've got a lot to cover. I don't know. Anyway, that was the first level of the Arknights Limbus Company collaboration. I got Faust, which is exactly who I wanted to get, so I'm very pleased about that. And over the next month that this is out, I'm going to be playing a great deal of it, because I'm planning to get the Ishmael. I'm definitely going to be going for these because, yes, I am a massive fan of the Seaborn aesthetic in Arknights. I've also done numerous videos on the Seaborn-based roguelike mode in Arknights in a series called Quick Arbor, where I play through a run of it in like a couple of minutes. So you should go check those out if you're interested in learning more about the Seaborn. I mean, learning more might be a bit of a stretch, but if you're interested in seeing more of them, they are in that. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and good luck with your own pulls in this event. It's a whole month-long event, which is shocking to me, because the most we get in Arknights is like 3 weeks for the really, really big stuff. So anyway, have a good month of the Arknights crossover, and again, if you want to see more about Arknights, I do regular Arknights videos So you should check those out. And I've also done a video all about Skadi, like all about what her story is, so you can check that out, linked in the description. Thank you very much, and I will catch you later.